New Steam product drop. I'm Alex Reynolds. No, I'm SketchyBot 3000, who may also be known as Alex Reynolds sometimes. Anyway, I sketch robots with a light sense of humor and offer all kinds of cool stuff from hoodies and stickers and things like that with it on there under the handle SketchyBot 3000. But today I wanted to talk to you about Steam's most recent drop, or Valve's most recent drop. Actually, what is the difference between Steam and Valve? Somebody tell me in the comments below, because what is that? What's the difference? I don't understand. But I love playing games on Steam. I am a more casual gamer. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm a hardcore gamer, but I'm a very casual gamer. I love playing Age of Empires 2. That's my favorite, and this is what, like 2025? But that's one of my favorite games to play right now. I also play a lot of Fortnite with my son, which is not on Steam, and Roblox, which is also, I don't think, is on Steam. Anyway, not the point. Let's get to the point. The point is, Steam just dropped a lot of really cool stuff. They dropped the Steam Cube. Actually, I should have looked all this stuff up before I started this video. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I can't really look it up now. But there's like a Steam machine. I don't know. They used to do this. They started this out a long time ago. They did these Steam machines that were supposed to take over the living room next to Xboxes and PlayStations and Nintendo stuff. And it totally flopped and failed. And it was not working. But this looks like round two. And they did the Steam Deck, which was a wild success for Steam, at least. You know, I'm sure if you compared it to Nintendo numbers and stuff, it wouldn't be the same. But for Steam, it was a huge success. And so now they're like, okay, we figured out how to get the Steam Deck to work, right? Which is basically, think of it as like a Nintendo Switch, but the handles don't come off. And it runs on games from the Steam platform instead of the Nintendo platform. But that was a huge success, and they're like, okay, how do we leap off of that and try again at this living room thing? And so now they've got a new cube-shaped box that is like the Steam Deck, but more powerful and kind of designed to plug into a TV or to plug in at your desk, either way. But I think this is really cool. Like, I would so love to have, I'd love to have one device that does everything and replaces the Wii and the Switch. And what do we have down there? We've got an Xbox 360, a PS2, a Switch, and a Wii all under our TV. I'd love to replace those with one device. That's not realistic. It's never going to happen. But I'm very curious about bringing Steam into the living room because I love their more consumer-friendly business. Nintendo feels very anti-consumer to me, the way they run their business, the way they force you to buy their games over and over again. And force is a strong word, but I feel like they use a lot of anti-consumerism, a lot of anti-consumer practices, where Steam's whole thing is like, look guys, I just watched a video of Gabe. I'm trying to learn this whole thing. Who Gabe is new to me, but I guess he started Valve, he started Steam, all that. And there's not a lot of videos on him, but I saw one yesterday where he was talking about concerns about piracy. Because I mean, they're in the industry of selling games that are often pirated, right? Piracy is a big issue, but he was like, piracy is not really on our radar. That's not something on our list of things we're worried about. And his take on it was, if you're helping consumers get what they want, they're not going to bother with pirating it. People are pirating stuff because they can't get what they want, right? The harder you make it to get, the more likely they are to pirate it. And a lot of anti-piracy practices that are common in digital industries often create more piracy because they make it harder for customers to use products that they legally purchased the way they want to use them. So they pirate them so they can use them the way they want. If you just give them what they want, they'll stop pirating it. They'll be happy to pay for it. Anyway, so they've got this GameCube thing. I can't remember the name of it. They've also, what else did they do? They did a virtual reality deal that I guess they had the Steam Index before. This is the first time I'm hearing of the Steam Index. Obviously, I'm not deep in the virtual reality world, but they're now upgrading it with a new device, which I also don't remember the name of. I am doing terrible at this video. But that looks really cool. Like I said, I'm not deep into the virtual reality stuff. I think it's really cool. I'd love to get into it, but realistically, I'm not going to spend the money on a virtual reality thing. You know, these things are hundreds of dollars right now. I feel like in a year or two, the kids are starting to get into the idea. There's a good chance I'm going to eventually bring something into the household. But this thing was really cool. It was, so you could, I guess you could plug it into your computer and you could play Steam games from your computer, some which are specifically for VR. But I got the impression that no matter whether it's for VR or not, you could still play it in the VR headset. I guess it would probably project it as a screen in front of you or something. But then I think the cooler part was that I think it has some sort of an ARM processor in it or something, and you can download games directly to the VR headset and use it without a computer. So that was pretty cool, and I suspect there's a lot of other stuff about it that's really cool that I'm not remembering because, again, I'm not that deep in the VR world. But now I'm trying to remember, there was a third thing they released. Oh, the Steam controller. That was it. Steam Controller 2, I think, is the actual name of it. I actually remember the name of something. And I thought this looked really interesting. So I thought the old one was pretty interesting, but it wasn't. I didn't think they quite nailed it. This takes everything great from the first generation, then takes all the things that are great about a normal controller, right? Like the controllers have gotten kind of standardized over the years. Like I remember the original NES coming out, and then the Super Nintendo coming out, and then it seemed like every couple of years a new generation would come out, and they just add more buttons and add more buttons. And I feel like we've kind of plateaued on that, and gaming controllers have kind of gotten to a place where a lot of what we're seeing are just small tweaks on the same recipe. But Steam kind of takes that recipe and then adds to it. They've got their touch pads added to it. They've got Hall effect built into the thumbsticks, which I'm super excited about, even though honestly I don't know what the difference is. Like, I know how the technology works and why it's supposed to be better, but using the controllers, I don't think I see the difference. But it's cool. They got Hall effect built into them. They've got touchpad controls on them, and they've got all the standard buttons you would want to see on a gaming controller. And so, I don't know. That's some pretty cool stuff. So, I don't know. Just thought I'd kind of rant and talk about that. I'm excited about this stuff coming out, even though I'm probably not even going to buy any of it. I really love to get a Steam Deck, but I don't feel like it really fits my life. It's not something that's worth spending a few $100s on, even though that's really a good price for what you're getting. But I love Steam stuff. I love the way they do business. I love that they're very consumer friendly. They make stuff and they sell it to you in a way that makes a lot of sense for the consumer and really is great stuff. I would love to, I'd love to replace the Switch with a Steam Deck, but kind of hard to get around that's the other thing. The living room experience, that's really a big thing for me with the Steam thing. It kind of holds me back sometimes is with Nintendo, they're really good at making family games that the family can all sit on the couch together and play games together. With Steam games, we all spread out to different rooms in the house, and it's just not that same togetherness feel. And I know there are games on Steam where you can do that couch-like experience, but I don't know if they're that easy to find, and I feel like they're a little bit rarer. It's really, there's a lot of multiplayer games, but it's really meant to be like everybody's on their own computer in their own room. But I would love to see, man, I'd love to get this Steam machine, this little cube you can put in your living room, and see how many Steam games we could get that were really great family games for sitting on the couch with like 4 controllers connected to this Steam device. I don't know. I'd really like to get into that. Tell me in the comments below if you know of a game or more than one game, whatever games you know of that you love, that you've played, that are like up to 4-person games and you can connect multiple controllers to the same device, right? And all play together, sitting on a couch on one screen, 4 of you. What Steam games are like that you love? I'd love to see that in the comments. Tell me in the comments, what are your favorite games that fit that parameter? I would love to try that out. But I don't know, I ought to get back to it, and frankly, I ought to start sketching some more robots. I'm dying to try out Fresco. I've been kind of dabbling with it, but I haven't really gotten into it yet. But now that it's free, vector drawing on my iPad, that's actually really natural. Dude, I'm dying to get into that. Anyway, let's get on with it. I'm Alex Reynolds, or SketchyBot 3000. I got to get used to it. I'm SketchyBot 3000, coming to you not live, I don't know, whatever. I hope you liked this video. If you did, pause it, hit like and subscribe, and then check out this next video here. You're going to love that one too. So, see ya there.